It's time for yet another Hollow Knight community ranking. With my personal charm video finally finished, which you can watch here by the way, we brought the community ranking back to see what you all think are the best charms in the game. Each day, I brought forth 2 charms which you all voted on, the winner of which moved on to the next round. As with all of our other seeded brackets, the original placement was generally based on accepted perception of charm strength, with the high and low seeds going up against each other first to ensure that the cream of the crop would rise to the top for an epic finale. Once a charm made it out of the first round, it was pit against 4 other winners, with the top 2 moving to the semifinals. The 4 charms in each semifinal round battled it out for a spot in the finals, with one last clash for the crown between 2 top-tier trinkets. However, before we get into it, I do need to make a confession. Technically, Hollow Knight has 42 charms. 41 if you don't count Void Heart, which we honestly can't given that it's just a passive upgrade. Making an even bracket with 41 or 42 options proved to be really tough, so King Soul and Void Heart did not make it into the ranking. I'm real sorry to the definitely 100% totally huge community of King Soul fans watching, but given that the charm ends up being replaced almost instantly by a passive effect, I felt it was the fairest option to take a break from deadly, charm-to-charm ranking combat. With that being said, there's nothing left to do but rank some charms. Our very first round was a doozy, Sprint Master versus Mark of Pride. As several commenters put it, this was an unfortunate round for Sprint Master to end up in, as Mark of Pride is surely one of the favorites to win. Fonzie makes a decent argument about Sprint Master being more versatile for loadouts, but it just isn't enough to justify a win, and Mark of Pride takes it 90-10. Next up was Grubsong versus Spore Shroom. Another pretty clear winner right off the bat, but that's just how a lot of these first round matchups are gonna go. Kudos to Spore Shroom fans to coming out and supporting their boy, but Grubsong was not gonna go down this early and wins the round 93-7. Callum suspects that Grubsong might be the dark horse of this bracket, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Moving into the next bracket is Lifeblood Core versus Greed. While Paul notes that Geo does eventually become worthless, it seems that folks agreed Lifeblood Core is not worth the notches when you could grab an offensive charm instead. People also like using this charm in Steel Soul, so while it was close, Greed does win the round 61-39. And so we find ourselves in a battle between Weaver Song and Soul Eater. The comments seem to prefer Weaver Song, even if Soul Eater is probably the better charm from an objective point of view. So Much Pain notes that honestly, neither of these charms sees much use in casual gameplay, so this is probably a pretty huge toss-up, right? Well, despite the lukewarm opinions, Soul Eater runs away with this one, 75-25. Ah yes, round 5, Strength versus Grimchild. Truly a battle for the ages. While it seems Grimchild may be on the wrong side of history here, Potato Snack reminds us all of one crucial factor. He's the boy. Unfortunately, just being the boy is not enough, as Strength sweeps with a 93-7 victory. Next up, we've got Quick Slash versus Heavy Blow. Yeah, this one's totally gonna be close. Truly the greatest matchup of all time. In an absolute upset that nobody expected, Quick Slash wins 98-2. Round 7 saw Balder Shell going up against Longnail. While Balder certainly has some solid uses, like Radiant Battles, as a few folks noted, it's still pretty clear that Longnail's more general usability was likely to win out. Longnail wins the round, 82-18. Following up in round 8, it's time for Steady Body versus Deep Focus. The Man PF says Deep Focus is underrated, and while that is true to some extent, So Much Pain says what a lot of us were already thinking. Steady Body is kinda cracked, and a lot of the votes for Deep Focus were probably just votes against Steady Body from the people who aren't used to it. No disrespect for Deep Focus, but its use cases are limited. Steady Body takes the round 78-22. The next matchup was between Lifeblood Heart and Dashmaster. While I do think Lifeblood Heart is a pretty okay charm, the effect is admittedly pretty boring. Contrast that with the schmovement you can get with Dashmaster, and it's not too hard to guess which charm people like more. One commenter does note that Dashmaster's down dash can actively hinder you at times, but luckily one of the more recent patches made it harder to accidentally pull off this move. The Speed Demons have it, with Dashmaster moving on 77 to 23. On day 10, we saw a battle between Gathering Swarm and Dreamwielder. This one might honestly look pretty close. While Dreamwielder is a really strong charm, a fair number of folks really like Swarm for its ability to make you hella cash money, myself included. And Megan H makes a good point. Those little boys got some chutzpah. But a sleeper hit it is not. Dreamwielder very deservedly takes the matchup as a powerful and versatile option, coming in 68 to 32. The next bracket was Shaman Stone versus Glowing Womb. And people did not have much to say about this one. Was there ever a chance for Glowing Womb? Based on the results, Mondo Mole, I'd say not. Shaman Stone absolutely annihilates the round 96 to 4, and I think we all know why. Round 12 was a matchup between Defender's Crest and Nailmaster's Glory. A solid showing for Defender's Crest, as Pineapple rallies the fans of the funny poop charm. When it comes down to it though, Nico Carlton says it well. Whether it's viability or fun factor, Nailmasters wins the round regardless, 82 to 18. The community sat silently on day 13, when Soulcatcher went up against Stalwart Shell. While a few silent and brave warriors tried to make their case for the extra iframes, Soulcatcher was clearly the favorite of the two decent early game charms, winning the round 91 to 9. And then, it was the time for the reckoning. Wayward Compass versus Fury of the Fallen. Did the Fury even stand a chance? While the commenters were split on whether or not they wanted the Compass meme to die or not, everyone seemed to be on the same page about one thing. It wasn't dying anytime soon. Compass takes the round 89 to 11. Round 15 saw a matchup between Hiveblood and Heart. A battle between two health charms, one of which is pretty clearly better than the other. But hey, at least Hiveblood makes your masks look sick. As SSFI says though, its minimal usability really can't hold a candle to how widespread Heart is. Heart takes the round 78 to 22. Coming up next is Dream Shield versus Spell Twister. I am a big fan of Spell Twister myself, and I think a lot of people are. The Man PF does make a good argument for Dream Shield being useful sometimes, but really, come on, it's Dream Shield. It does have its fans, but not enough to win the round. Spell Twister comes out 88 to 12. On the 17th day of rankings, a matchup was to be. It's Quick Focus versus Joni's Blessing. Cabelliot hits us with a full analysis, which I'm not gonna read, but TLDR, he's right. Quick Focus always works, whereas Joni's often acts as a hindrance to the player. Unsurprisingly, Quick Focus wins 94 to 6. Only a few matchups left, so let's get down with Shape of Oon versus Thorns of Agony. Chester may have never used Shape of Oon, but the downsides of Thorns is enough for them to vote against it. Neuro makes a solid point as well. Shape of Oon, my favorite charm. True that, Neuro. Oon takes the win 74 to 26. Day 19 was a close one. Or at least that's what I'd assumed. With Fluke Nest versus Grubberfly's Elegy, I expected the Flukes to win, even after its nerfs. But folks love Elegy for its power and Radiant fights, and I can't argue with that. Elegy wins this one, 77 to 23. The final matchup is between Carefree Melody and Sharp Shadow. Water V2 takes a stand for the Melody. While the RNG protection is annoying, it provides very good utility, and that can't be denied. Sharp Shadow fans, your rebuttal? Mini Shadelord go burr burr burr. You know what? Hell yeah, I'm down. Sharp Shadow wins 79 to 21. Moving into the quarterfinals, the matchups now see 5 winners from the previous round duking it out. The top 2 charms will move to semis, the other 3 will end their domination here. With half of the charm population culled already, some personal faves have probably already seen their demise, but the half we've got left are all very solid contenders. For our first quarterfinals match, we see Mark of Pride, Grubsong, Greed, Soul Eater, and Strength. While we've got a solid smattering of great charms, and also Greed, only the top 2 can make it out of quarters alive. Sorry, Grubsong. Greed gets 1%, Soul Eater gets 3, Grubsong gets 7, and the clear winners are Strength and Mark of Pride, coming in at 57 and 31 respectively. The next round is Quick Slash, Long Nail, Steady Body, Dashmaster, and Dreamwielder. Quick Slash unsurprisingly grabs first place with 74%. But what about second place? Well, while Dashmaster came in last with only 5%, Longnail, Steadybody, and Dreamwielder actually all tie for second at 7. Run It Back We Must, and Run It Back We Shall. These three went head to head again in round 2, and the comments were all over the place. Folks were fighting for Steadybody and Dreamwielder to take their place in the semis. Notably, the comments didn't have much love for Longnail, but the silent majority don't give a crap. Longnail secures a spot in the semis with 49%. Dreamwielder takes 27 and Steadybody 24. It was a valiant effort for these two, but we'll have to sunset their runs here. Quarters 3 sees a match between Shaman Stone, Nailmaster's Glory, Soulcatcher, Wayward Compass, and Heart. Heart and Soulcatcher really didn't stand a chance, coming in with 2 and 3% respectively. Shaman Stone, on the other hand, was a clear victor with 52%. The comments this time were a battlefield between people who genuinely really like Compass and those who needed the meme to die this round and give Nailmasters a shot at semis. But the yays have it, and Compass takes yet another round with a dedicated fanbase, coming in at 34. Nailmasters ends its run with a sad 8%. And the final quarterfinal took Spell Twister, Quick Focus, Shape of Un, Grubberfly's Elegy, and Sharp Shadow into battle. Bobby's got the right idea, cause the Twister's insane value lets it grab first place for the round with 41%. The battle between Quick Focus and Sharp Shadow was legendary, but that mini Shadelord keeps a Berber burning into people's hearts and secures a semi-spot with 26, while Quick Focus loses its last chance with only 21%. Neuro is back with the Shape of Un love, but only manages to scrounge together 9% of the vote. And it seems that most people agreed that Elegy had made it far enough, ending the run with 4%. With only 16 charms left in the ranking, we've had to sunset some really fun options, but only the strongest will prevail. Each semifinals round pitted 4 charms against each other, and only one was making it to finals. For the first one, we had Mark of Pride, Strength, Quick Slash, and Longnail going at it. Longnail was a bit out of its depth, ending up at the same category as the superior Mark of Pride and only took 2%. Mark of Pride fared better, but not by enough. 15% of the vote ain't gonna cut it. The top spot was a bloodbath, with Strength fans taking up arms in the comments. But alas, Strength loses out on finals with only 32%. The Burr fans show up in full force, and Quick Slash takes the fight to finals with 51%. The second semi saw Shaman Stone, Wayward Compass, Spell Twister, and Sharp Shadow take up arms. Spell Twister is good, but only 5% thought it was finals good. Sharp Shadow's dedicated fanbase was also not able to hold together, netting only 10% of the vote. The Compass fans keep coming out in a wild way, managing to net 31% of the vote against one of the most broken charms in Hollow Knight. But alas, Shaman Stone, very deservedly in my opinion, makes it to finals with 54%. This is it now, just 2 charms left. At this point, most of your favorite charms have probably gotten kicked out, and at least we can say they put up a good fight. But it really wasn't much of a surprise to see these 2 meta behemoths make it to the last round. Quick Slash and Shaman Stone. Fonzie knew it would come down to this, but sure doesn't make the choice easier. Some folks were reasonably surprised to not see Strength surpass Quick Slash, and a fair few folks did not think Quick Slash deserved to win. Much to my amusement, Mark of Pride fans just were not giving up, even when they were down and out. Despite all the arguments over Quick Slash though, it took the finals in a major way, coming out over Shaman Stone 76-24. I guess folks just don't use spells that much. And thus ends the community charm ranking. Big congratulations to all the charms that made an impact, and congratulations to the Quick Slash fans who carried their charm all the way to the crown. A big thank you to everyone who participated in this ranking, and I will see you all next time. If you'd like to see more community rankings, you can find some on the screen here, and if you want to view my personal charm ranking, where I totally call that Quick Slash was going to be the fan favorite, you can click on that too. If you like Hollow Knight, or people talking about video games and junk, I would be remiss not to ask you to like and subscribe. But with that, I bid you all a charming day.